Well, howdy y'all. So 2 major updates. 1, I got a haircut, and 2, I've changed the name from AWI Woodworking to Burnt Hickory Signs. So just gonna throw that out there to all of my 5 subscribers. Today on Burnt Hickory Signs, we're going to be making a lithophane. Let's get started. Alright, and for those who don't know what a lithophane is Hey Google, what's a lithophane?
According to Wikipedia, a lithophane is an etched or molded artwork in very thin translucent porcelain that can be seen clearly only when backlit with a light source.
Alright, so yeah, just like that, that's what a lithophane is, but to recap, it's pretty much an object, or how I'm using a 3D printer for this, which is what most people use, or they can use a CNC machine and cut down into the wood and engrave that. But 3D printer, it prints out the plastic and basically extrudes it out at different widths and takes that image and turns it to black and white, so it determines how thick that needs to be. And of course, the thicker it is, the less light shines through, and the thinner it is, more light goes into it, and it basically in turn makes a black and white image. So pretty cool there. And when you put a different colored light behind it, it's like a yellow. It also gives like a sort of greenish yellowish tint. It's pretty cool. So here's some of the lithophanes I've done. Let's go ahead and flip off the light. We can take a look at these. Alright, this here is the Alliant, and this is still by far my favorite one. It's just amazing. I mean, you could stare at this for a while. I mean, I don't know how much time you have on your hands.
My grandfather's clock was too large for the shelf, so it stood 90 years on the floor.
But you can stare at this for a while. It's pretty neat. Here's another image here of just my brother leaning up against the tree here, but that's an actual image I took, and you see the detail on it. It still turns out, and you can't see the detail that I'm seeing through the camera, so there's a lot more detail that the camera misses. And here's the 3D printer I've been printing the lithophanes on. Amazing printer. It's the Ender 3 by Creality. This printer was easy to set up, get going. I did a few upgrades to it, which made it better. And yeah, I mean, awesome. I'll put a link for this in the description down below. Here's some of the prints we got off this thing. I'm going to be using the white Overture PLA filament for the lithophanes. It seemed to be working pretty good. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and jump into the software side of making the lithophanes. Open your web browser and search for image to lithophane. Go ahead and, actually I've typed this in a few times so it shows up, but go ahead and enter and let that load. First thing we're going to select is image to lithophane. Should be the first thing that pops up. 3D Printing Rocks, or 3DP rocks.com. Anyway, on their page, go ahead and select images, and then under images, click choose file. Select your file. Here's the one I'm going to be using. It's going to go ahead and load here. Actually, it says no file. There it goes. It's going to go ahead and load. Alright, once it finishes, there it goes. Okay, so now the black is basically how thick it's going to be, and the white is basically how thin it is, and that's how a lithophane works. So that's what it's determining right now. The software is going to fix that up now, and then for me, I like to go with the outer curve here, right there, outer curve. So we're going to go ahead and select that one once this gets finished loading here, and it does take a minute to load. Alright, so it's finished loading. I selected the outer curve. Now we're going to go into settings. Now in model settings, there's not much you need to do. These pretty much the software determines. So you can change your size here. Like for me, I could change from 210 millimeters, but I can do all that inside of my slicing software. So I'm just not going to worry about any of those. But now in image settings, the one you do need to worry about is the positive and negative image. Just make sure that slider is selected to positive. Let's go back to our model, and it should, everything be good there. So we're just going to hit the refresh button. Okay, so that's all the steps you need to do. And yep, that's it. So just go ahead and hit the download button and let's download it. Alright, so inside the process slicer here, we're going to go ahead and load that model. Alright, it's going to be under downloads because I didn't save it to a particular type of folder. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And the first thing I want to do once this opens here is I'm going to go ahead and scale it. And here we are. I'm going to go ahead and scale that to, on the X, to 150 millimeters. There we go. And that should be like a standard, pretty much standard size there. Now we're going to go ahead and go into print settings, change the layer height to 0.2, the first layer height for 0.24, that's for better bed adhesion. But now we want that it's only about an 1/8 inch. If we go into the plotter here, we can see it's only this much on the actual bed, so we're going to want to give more surface area to stick to the bed. So we're going to go into the skirt and brim and change the loops to 10, and then we're going to change the distance from object to 0, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. There we go. Support material is going to be turned off. Infill we're going to put at 100%. Alright, that's pretty much everything you need to do. Now I'm just going to go back and click slice. Alright, so it just finished slicing here, and you can see the blue, that's for the overhang, right? So don't worry about that, it's going to be perfectly fine. And now if we go down here and look at our skirt, you can see that it's going around 10 loops, and it's touching, in some spots, the actual model here, so that's good. Basically, that's everything you need to do. The time this will take, it says it's going to be 4 hours and 13 minutes, so that's not too bad at all. And yeah, so actually, yeah, that's all the settings we need to do. So let's go ahead and export this, and then we're good to go. Alright, so it's on the SD card now. Let's go ahead and put that into the printer here, and get to printing this lithophane. Alright, so the printer's finished printing, and I've already taken it off. I just set it up here for, looks, because it looks cooler on the printer than just me like holding it and saying it's finished. Anyway, alright, let's hold this thing up to the light and see what it looks like. Alright, so there she is, y'all. I'm so pleased on how this thing turned out. It's pretty amazing what, just the lithophane and just the general idea is just amazing. Here, I'll show you what it looks like without the light off, but that's pretty cool. Alright, y'all, there she is without the light on. Without the light on. Without the light off. There we go. And a light behind it. So, totally different. You can't see anything. You can sort of see the general outline, but the second you put the light behind it, it's just amazing. There it is behind there. It is so cool. Lithophanes are just the neatest thing to print and to see once you put the light behind it. It's just amazing. So, anyway, pretty cool. Well, thank y'all so much for sticking to the end of my YouTube video. I hope that you loved seeing how I make the lithophanes and just getting to see them for the first time, probably most of y'all. So hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hey, please like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. See you next time.